I don't talk about diamond. She doesn't even know what diamond is yet. All she knows is her goal in the next 72 hours, because I tell her you have 30 days, but in the next 72 hours, your goal is to get those 4 loyal customers.
Yeah.
And then, you got to use your words to empower them because they don't know. So I'm setting her up for success. So I'm saying to her things like, I bet 4 people right now, and you probably have those 4 customers before you even get home. So
Mhm.
you're setting them up like that. Not waiting like, okay, so when do you want to schedule a party? That's probably not even going to happen. So it's the velocity, it's the speed of urgency and getting started, quickly and helping them be successful right away.
I
Because
love
the sooner they can see success and making cash in their pocket, I mean, they have to clearly see if they're going to give you $99, they need to clearly see before they leave that very first time with you of the enrollment process, how they're going to make their money back and how they're going to be able to make money in the first 30 days. And if they can see that, you're going to close every single person because it's a no-brainer.
I love how you say, if you choose to partner with me, then this is how we're gonna, then we're gonna, get our first 4 loyal customers, and this is why. Like showing them the why behind it,
Yeah.
just makes it seem so much more valuable.
Right. And also, it's always a we. They're never going to be alone. They should never feel like I'm signing you up and then you're on your own. Use words like we. We are going to do this. We are going to get your 4 customers. We are going to launch you. We are in this together. So that they feel like, because they are. I mean, they're going to be your business partner for a while. I mean, you're going to be with them, guiding them through the process. And then eventually they will have people on their team that they're going to continue to duplicate that with. And so I use a lot of words like duplicate
Mm-hmm.
because that's what we want them to learn. And I tell them again, this is why we want to duplicate, because this is how we leverage other people to build the team. And this is where the residual comes in. So I show them the importance of, like, I'm real honest with people too. I'm like, you know what? In the first check, you're probably not going to make very much. That has to build. That's the residual part, and that takes time. But what you can make really fast is wrap cash. So in the first 30 days, I'm really focused on maximizing the fast cash and the wrap cash. So I want them to get those $25 boxes and see the value in flipping those and making $75 a box. Because they get that. I remember I'll bring my own experience into it and tell them that's what was so exciting for me when I first signed up, because I had no intention of building a global business. I just, I'd have a party and come home with like a couple $100s of cash, and I thought that was awesome. So,
Yeah.
and they're like, then their eyes light up because they're like, I could use $200 cash,
Mm-hmm.
So
It's so
remembering. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's so funny that as we've been in the business and, we start to make it to the levels where we're making thousands and thousands a month, we forget how important it is for most people to make $200 to $500 a month. Like that's a really big deal if somebody can make that in their first month from Wrap Cash.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge because I remember, I mean, that was date night money or movie money, or if I wanted to get a new pair of shoes, or kids wanted to, do something with their friends. And it was that extra, because most people are living paycheck to paycheck, even though Chris and I had really good jobs, but we just didn't think of the plan B or leave margin. And that's typical for most people these days. So that little extra, that was really huge for us. Even just $300 changed the budget.
Right.
We, we actually had some left at the end of the month. Yeah.
So we have a question from someone. As you are, training your new distributors, in the interim, while the training isn't available in the e-suite, are you just kind of going through those things with them as the issues arise or as the steps arise? Or what do you do while there's no training available in the e-suite?
Right. So that what I'm sharing with you right now is a lot of what's in the e-suite. The only other thing would be product. And so I like the way you can train product easily is by doing that first launch party with them, whether it's in person or you're doing it online. So you can easily just do a product Zoom and you can go over, you can take the 30 days and do one Zoom a week. So you're not on there for like a whole hour talking about products because they're not going to remember it if you try and cram it all in. So pick like 5 a week and then you cover like the top sellers and then or if they have some favorites, you just go over the products with them. It's so easy. I use Zoom all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can just be on your phone. I'm on my phone right now on Zoom. So
Yeah,
you
it's
can
so
use your
easy.
phone. You can be anywhere. Yeah.
All right. So, what about for the people who aren't local to you? Do you just Zoom in for their first wrap party? Do you have them do online? What have you found works best for you?
I like to get people in a room and I like to have them interact with with their guests and because then they can tap into their warm market. So for the first party I like to do that, but if they can't, we can do it. I prefer a Zoom party or over a Facebook because they want to see you
Mm-hmm.
and they want to be able to interact with you. So yeah, I think I mean if you can do it live, that's best.
Perfect.
In person. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be big either. I mean, they don't need to have 20 people. It's really for training.
Mm-hmm.
So, and tell them that too. Like my new girl today, I said, just, you know what, tell them you need to practice, which you really do.
Mm-hmm.
So just get a few of your friends together. You're going to practice your presentation, no pressure. And I told her, you'll be surprised. People want to support you.
Right. Perfect. I like that verbiage of having them feel less, I don't know, like you said, less pressure instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, this is my first party. I need to have at least 15 people there, or, all those fears that people have when they first get started. So I think saying, this is going to be your first party. It's really for training purposes. So invite a couple people over and just tell them that you need to practice. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off the new distributor and their guests.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, because I mean, when we all start, we're just kind of like a deer in the headlights, but it's so authentic and people can relate to that. Where, I mean, if you get up there and you like are Dr. Don, it can be a little intimidating.
Right.
So I love when new distributors do their first party because it's so just, it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no like memorizing or anything. They're just like, "Hi, I'm," that's so just, and then they work their way through it. So it's cool.
Okay, the next question about this that we have from the team is, when do you start talking about the next steps as far as them beginning to enroll distributors?
Right. So I tell them step 3, but then I right away go back to, but our first goal. So this is step number 3. This is how you're going to build your team. But our first goal is step number 2. So once we get your first 4 customers, then we're going to work on duplicating that. I keep using the word duplicating because they need to get that in their head.
Okay.
Because that's what you're doing when you're building a team. You're duplicating.
Mhm.
Perfect.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions about this portion of, or this topic? I know I only saw those 2 questions get typed in. Okay, so we can move on. If you think of questions, obviously you guys can put them into the chat function at the bottom of your screen, okay? So let's move on to placing your new distributors, placing your new loyal customers, and how can we best maximize the compensation plan when we're, just getting started, or we're at that diamond or lower rank in the company.
Right. So, I mean, there's different ways that you can build, but for the brand new distributor, I really like to stick to building 2x2, because it's duplicating.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going out and they're getting 2 distributors and they're teaching those 2 distributors to get 2 distributors, there really shouldn't be any need for you to place someone, because everyone should be able to get 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the exception is if you're like a mass recruiter, or you have like some type of lead system, or just like an Instagram rock star, and you have a lot of distributors, that it makes more sense for you to place them if the 2 people match, because remember, you're partnering people up together that are going to be in business together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important, is connecting those people if you're going to place them together, and make sure that it's a good fit. Because even if you put 2 people together that don't really match, just that negative energy, that can hold stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure they're the right fit. Then my personal rule is I don't place lower than 3, which means I'll build rubies all day long, but anything lower than that, it's very risky that you're going to pop someone a couple levels below that and never ever get paid anything.
So you said not lower than 3 levels?
Right. Because that allows you to build rubies. You could build a whole lot of rubies wide all the way across your top line, and then let the rest of the depth build organically.
Okay. And that's kind of how you grew your organization. I think you were a top money earner at Triple Diamond,
Right.
building that way and following that principle.
Right. When I first started, for the first at least 7 years, I only knew to teach 2x2. So that's what I taught, and people just automatically got to the levels, and it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was just all happening naturally and organically. There was no like manipulating, wasn't even a consideration back then. We didn't even think about, trying to force it to work. It just was.
And I feel like just from watching those of you who have been in the business for a while and the different styles of building the way that you're talking to us about now seems a little bit more sustainable as far as steady income goes, because you've built something more solid.
Right. Exactly. And people are still going to come and go, but if you see what happens when the biggest issue or challenge that comes up when you are placing people and you're the one doing all the recruiting and building other people up to positions, it does a couple of things. It burns you out quickly because everybody's coming to you because you signed everyone up and you placed everyone. But it takes away the empowerment from the person that you placed it with, because subconsciously they think, she doesn't think I can do this on my own because she just gave me someone. Also, I don't have to do this on my own because she gave me someone. So you're kind of setting up a system where you're always going to be the one trying to manage everything. And like I said, you're going to get burnt out, and those people aren't empowered, so they're going to quit.
Right. I'm just jotting down a note.
Yeah, right. It takes a little longer to build it solid, but we don't have any, I mean, it's not a race. If you want this to be like legacy for you, then put the time into building it properly with the right people and training them, and, put the extra time in, because in the long run, it's going to last.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Like, instead of feeling like you need to hurry up and get to presidential or ambassador in a year, building it solid and steady, and focusing, like you said, on being able to teach your team how to duplicate. I feel like that's what's going to make you that beach money that everybody wants long term, not just, for a season.
Right. So the light bulb and the aha that I had when I saw what was happening when people went really fast was this. And whenever I explain this to someone, they will never do it again, because you'll see how much potential income can be lost when you do that. So just think about if there's someone that's a diamond, and then all of a sudden they push the next person to get to double, or to get to diamond so they can go double, and they push and they push and they push all these ranks, and then no one maintains it month 2 or month 3. So now you have all of these people that have titles, no income, but you have lost the number one piece of our compensation plan, which is your code. So you push them out of your coding, and now they're not getting it and you're not getting it. It's just gone. So rather than pushing someone, let them do it in their own time, because in the meantime, you're still earning coding. But if they push to a promotion and they don't maintain it, nobody wins.
Mm-hmm. So when you say coding, I know some people are not familiar with that. What would be just like an introduction to what you're talking about when you refer to the coding?
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, I forgot. Okay, so coding is when you come in as a new distributor and you get your first 2 customers, you guys know that you earn a fast start bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $100. When you become a diamond or above, there's another special bonus that gets paid out for doing the exact same thing, which is getting their 2 customers and making sure they're on their auto ship. And that coding is anywhere from $80 to $150. But it's not just on that one person that you enroll. It's accumulative. So they sign up someone, and they sign up someone, and they sign up someone. You are earning the 80, 80, 80, 80 from everyone that comes into your business. Now, if you push someone to go to diamond and then they bring in 20 people that month but don't maintain their diamond status, no one gets the 80s.
Okay.
They lose it and you lose it.
Got it.
So that's a lot of money left on the table when people are pushing too fast. When they can't, I mean, you want the urgency, you want people, but if they don't have the foundation and they don't have the volume to maintain it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't push people to just do it just for the title unless they've got that solid volume. If I know for sure that they're going to maintain it the next month, then push them.
Right.
Because you want people to promote, because that's how you get paid more when you promote. You just got to make sure that they're ready for it.
Right. Perfect. I feel like that was the perfect way to explain kind of, I guess, a pro and con of pushing someone to a rank just because they want to call themselves a triple diamond, or just because they want to call themselves a presidential diamond. It makes a lot of sense when you think about, okay, but if you're not going to maintain that the very next month, then you're going to be missing out on income.
Yeah, you and your upline.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about um, building or placing? Like, for example, I know a popular like saying in the It Works world is run with your runners and walk with your walkers. At what point do you decide to let someone sit on the bench if that's what they're choosing to do? How much time do you pour into those people? Do you use those people for a 400 box? What's kind of like the deciding factor for you when you're making that decision for your business?
Right. So, I mean, I really go with my gut on this because I've just been doing this for so long that I can kind of feel people out, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong, but um because I feel like the way I started, if Cami had just gave up on me, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was a slow starter. But she saw something in me, and so she kept hanging on and kept encouraging me and pushing me, and now I am where I am today. So when I see something in someone, I'll give them a longer, like sometimes even a year before I'm like, okay. And when I say that I'm hanging on to them, I'm not dragging them, but I'm like trying to stay in contact and encourage them and just help them through whatever it is they're struggling with, because usually that's all it is. It's something's going on in their life. It's just a personal thing. It's not the business, but I see something in them and I know that they can do it, so I will stay connected with them a long time. Now other people, that if I enroll someone and they're not engaging with me when I'm texting them and they're not answering me back, or I give them a task and they're not completing it, this is all happening within the first 30 days. So if I see that they're really not interested,
Mm-hmm.
then I tell them after 30 days. They have 30 days to really engage with me. Just show me that you're like excited, that they get their first couple customers, and then we go on to the next 30 days, and then the next 30 days. And so you can really tell within that first 30 days if someone's serious or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it. I give them 30 days unless I really see something and I see that they just have something else happening at the moment that's stopping them, then I'll stay with them.
Perfect. All right. So the last, I guess, topic that we wanted to hear from you on is charts. Do you keep charts? How do you teach charting to your team? If you do teach charting to your team, at what point do you allow people to be independent and charting on their own? Tell us a little bit about your theories, what's worked for you, what's not worked for you.
Right. So again, I've never been an enabler, and I think that's why I've kept my sanity through this 10 years. Is I teach people to fish for themselves always. So they're keeping their own charts. I pull out the chart, I show them how to do it, and then when it comes time to, it's crunch time, and I'm helping them because they don't know how to search in their tree or anything like that yet. So I'm helping them with that, but they're managing their own chart. So when it's time, I'm asking them to text me a picture of where they're at. So I have them have the names of the people filled if it's a route. They have how much at that moment. And if they don't know how to find that, then I'm having them jump on the computer with me. So I'm not looking it up for them and telling them the answer.
Mm,
They have to get on the computer with me, and we do it together, and I show them how to find it. So then they know, and then they can teach the next person that.
perfect.
So I'm not managing like, oh my gosh, I see some people with all these charts on the walls in their offices, and I was like, that's exhausting just looking at it.
So right from day one, as soon as somebody's, they've got their 4 loyal customers and they enroll a distributor, at that point, do you show them the executive chart or do you go straight to the Ruby chart?
I go straight to the Ruby chart, but
Okay.
I show them how it can be done 2 by 2, but
Okay.
I show them the Ruby chart because now they have something that they can work with.
Mhm.
So they take that Ruby chart and they take that home with them, and that's what they're going to start to fill out. And then, like I said, I ask them to text it to me. So
Perfect.
I don't have their chart taped on my wall at home. They are managing their own chart. And when it comes time for me to look at it, they send it to me.
I love that. And I found myself, I guess what you said is exactly right. I felt so exhausted because we were I mean, we had, I think, Candy, how many charts must we have had on the bed that one day? At least 50. And now I'm like, okay, I definitely see the value in teaching people how to chart on their own from the very beginning, and teaching them, not saying like, oh, here, figure this out, really engaging with them, like you said,
Yeah.
on how to manage their business. And the word of the night, I feel like, is duplicate, how to duplicate that with their
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Now, there is something to be said for keeping their goals in your sight.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have, like, I keep a running book of who I'm working with at the moment and what their goal is. So, like, my new distributor today told me in the next 3 months she wants to be Ruby. So I have her name written down and I have Ruby written beside it. So because you want to be able to visualize it with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to see. I don't want to see their chart. I want to see their vision. I want to know where they want to be. So then I can hold that with them.
I love that. And I feel like teaching people to visualize is so important to get to every single level in the company. And it's something that I didn't come into It Works knowing how to do. I didn't know how to visualize where I wanted to be. I was just desperate to not be working every single day at the restaurant and teaching 6 Zumba classes every week. So I was like,
Right.
let me try this rap thing out and see how it goes. But it wasn't until I was diamond trying to go double that I really started seeing that the personal development aspect of the business was going to take me way farther than the rank, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
So
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, you guys, if you have questions, you can keep commenting them here. We have another question that kind of goes back to the building fast subject. The question was, what about the go fast bonuses? Those are motivating people to build really fast. How do we find the balance between reassuring someone that the residual income is there, like not to get stuck on the go fast bonus?
Right. So the go fast bonus is it's a realistic time frame.
Mm-hmm.
It's diamond in 3 months. That's 3 rubies. That's 1 ruby every 30 days. So I don't think that's like an unrealistic amount of time that people have to place to get there.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just putting consistent effort, if you're consistent for that first 3 months, you can get there. If you stick to being so simple and duplicating, it will go that fast. And then if not, you have 6 months to get 5,000. So I love that they did it that way because, even if you get close, it's like, well, you know what? If I don't get the 10, at least I can get the 5. So you have something to work towards.
I totally agree with that. The next question is, if you are not keeping an eye on charts, how do you keep an eye on how close people are to promotions in order to encourage them? I know how I would answer this question, but I know our team is curious to hear from you on what you would have to say about this.
So if I'm engaging with them regularly, which I would be, I would know. I shouldn't have to be asking them how they're doing because I'm talking to them at least once a week. I know how they're doing.
Perfect. So it's really, again, kind of giving the responsibility of their business to them. And if they're engaging back with you, then you're going to obviously be talking about, how is your chart looking, and you'll be up to date at least once a week.
Right, right. I'm talking any new distributor that I personally enroll, we talk minimum once a week.
Okay.
And I am asking the questions of how's it going, and they're telling me I just signed up a distributor, and so about midway through the month, then we start talking about, okay, I'll ask them how much volume do you need, who needs what. I'm asking them to tell me. I'm not going to go sit in my office and try and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that's something that ever since you did the Zoom with Kiko and I, we have kind of adapted that frame of mind, and our paycheck has gone up every single month since we had that initial Zoom. So that's why I was like really excited for
Oh,
you to
it's so
talk
exciting.
tonight to our team, because I just know that they all deserve so much success in this business. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask Carla if she'll do this Zoom with us tonight. So they're all like so
Cool.
thankful.
Awesome. Cool. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that your check's gone up.
Yes.
Good.
And then the last question that I see here is, how many Zooms are you doing for your team, like in a month, and what kind of training Zooms do you do with them?
So right now, my personally enrolled and where I'm focused is international. So it's a lot of Zooms because obviously I'm not there.
Mhm.
So I'll do, sometimes 3 a week. And what I'm talking about is if it's a new distributor, we're doing new distributor training. I have a girl in the UK that we actually just started. We have kind of a campaign going on where we're running ads. So we're doing an opportunity Zoom. So we're going through the party pad together. And then sometimes, like today, I did a Zoom with the group of people that I brought to the Spain villa. So that was just kind of like catching back up, seeing how they're doing, keeping accountable. And then like tonight, you guys reached out to me. So people reach out to me and ask me to do Zooms. So I never mind doing Zooms with people. In fact, I love to do it because I love to be able to, share my experience because I've been through pretty much everything in 10 years. And yeah, I mean, it's an honor to be able to pass that on if I can help someone. So I get asked a lot to do that, and I'll do at least one of those a week.
Okay.
So just someone that has asked me. Um, yeah. So I'm doing at least 3 Zooms a week.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. No one else is typing in any questions as far as like any side questions go. So unless there is anything else that you feel like closing that you would want to share with us, I guess everyone is done asking their questions.
Okay. I think I would just leave you with this. And I've been with this company for 10 years now. I mean, I know the ownership, I know the leadership, I know the leaders in the field, and I know the direction of where It Works is going. And when I tell you, you have not seen anything yet, it seems like it's been a weird year, and you see stuff on social media and all that. But behind the scenes, if you guys knew what's going on at Green Carpet, what's coming in the next, 3, 5, 10 years from now, you would not sleep at night. I'm telling you, it is awesome. So just, put the consistent effort in every day and know that you are in the right place at the right time. I would not want to be with any other company anywhere because of the solid foundation that we have, the people that are behind it, the products that we have, but mostly where we're headed. Where we're going is incredible. So you guys, you're doing the right thing, and you know what? Just staying connected and doing these Zooms like this, it really helps people because people can feel lost out there all by themselves. But even just to get on a call like this, and like I said, maybe I said something that they've already heard, but then tonight it's like, oh, now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, never be afraid to ask people to help you, because any leader like myself, we're always honored to help. We want to. So always feel like you can reach out and ask.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I have, a whole page full of notes.
Awesome.
That I've
Good.
written down. So we appreciate your time so much. We're so excited to be at Green Carpet in just a short amount of time.
I know.
And we just appreciate you and everything that you had to say tonight. And I can't wait to send you some messages of ways that tonight has helped our team grow as people and also grow their business as well. So thank you so much, Carla.
Awesome.
We'll
You're
keep in touch.
welcome. Yes, I'll see you next week.
Yes, we will be there. I'm so excited.
Okay. All right.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.